So I picked a pair of these Yeezys up in the sale from Adidas.com, and they were half price, so that's the reason why I sort of grabbed them. I do actually like the silhouette as well. So it's the Yeezy 450, and it comes in this stone flax colorway, which I actually like. I did have a white pair before, however I just didn't really think that I'd be wearing that particular pair, and I thought they would get dirty too quickly, so that's why I ended up moving them on. And also they're a bit too big for me as well. And this one is I went kind of pretty much a full size up in these, because I was looking at online what's the best thing to do, and usually with the Yeezys I find full size up works well. And this was I suppose a relatively new silhouette, and it was released in, I believe, 2022, and that's when it came out, and it's a unique shoe, I guess, in that respect. And it was designed by Steve Smith, so he was famous for the Reebok Insta-Fury, a few New Balance models, I think the 574 and the 998, I believe, and also he's contributed vastly to the sneaker industry in general, and is the helm of Yeezy overall anyway, and creator of the Wave Runner as well. And so with this one particular silhouette, it's very much, I suppose, a Steve Smith yay sort of special, really, in my opinion, because of the way it looks, and it's got this sock-like structure. So with the details, like I said, it comes in this stone flax colour, so even the rubber outsole and the knitting on top is all pretty much considered stone flax, and obviously you're going to get a bit of discoloration between the upper and the rubber itself, and it would always be a different colour, I guess. It wouldn't be the same sort of matchup, and I actually kind of like that contrast. And I'm not sure with the technology that they're using in this, but it just feels like it's a thick insole with a firm outsole, midsole, and it's quite sort of plasticky. It bends quite well, and it was meant to, I think, almost be to give you that, I suppose, sort of mock barefoot feeling, I guess. So there isn't, like I said, any too much tech in there, and you sit quite low to the ground as well. And this has a EVA midsole and outsole, so you can see here it's a combination of like this one structure just sort of overlapping the upper and going around it and glued to it, and it looks to me quite cool. And that's complemented by the all canvas upper material. So I think this is what they call Primeknit, but it's quite rough to the touch as well. But I think that it would last longer. It's quite thick as well. What I like about it is it's stretchy, and molds around your foot quite well, so which I actually like. And the price on this is retail price is £175, and like I mentioned earlier, I bought these on sale at half price. So the comfort and sizing, because there isn't much tech in there, this is on the medium to firm side. Like I said, you sit low to the ground. It feels very much like a mock, and I actually don't mind these types of I suppose footwear where there is not much tech in there, but it's more aesthetics, in terms of it looking different, and the insole basically provides a lot of the comfort. And like I said, the flat footbed is kind of low, makes you sit low to the ground, and I don't mind that, especially the older I get as well. I don't need to have too much cushioning, and kind of like the back to basics feel, I guess, and maybe on the firmer side. And because of the upper being this knit material, there's no wear in time with this. Your foot pretty much expands. The only bit of wear in time is probably the midsole outsole to flex, but even that is not so bad when you're wearing them. And I'd recommend probably just go up half a size with these. I went up a full size, and I do have a bit of room in the toe box, so my toe goes to about here with socks on. But if I had I suppose half a size smaller, I think my toe would be here, which would have been perfect. But bear in mind your foot gets pushed slightly forward because of this material here and the way they're structured. So it just depends on your foot size, really. But even with a wide foot, I found going up a half size is fine. And the traction is really good on these. It's very much kind of similar to, I suppose, like a herringbone traction, but with like a wavy circular pattern. And in my eyes, it works well. And kind of reminds me a little bit of the pod-like structure that you see on a Yeezy 500. So with the look and style, I like the kind of natural beige, like brownish type colorway. I think it's really cool, and one of those ones where you can sort of pretty much wear it sort of any time as well. And it's a futuristic look, so it's not one that, you know, it's for everyone. And I kind of know that, full well know that, but I like the more sort of futuristic silhouettes, and this one not being too heavy on the foot, and, you know, having that kind of sock-like upper. I actually kind of like the feeling of it. Well, it's a good one to rock all seasons, in my opinion. Even though it's got a knit upper, a lot of the sneaker is wrapped around this sort of plastic shroud. So in all honesty, it's one of those ones where, like I said, you pretty much wear it any time. Obviously, in the heat of summer, you might find it a bit too warm, but other than that, I think it's good to go. So it's like a perfect autumn-spring sneaker. And I think these ones, depending on what you're wearing as well, I think casual obviously works, but you probably even go towards a smart casual side, because they have like a unique sort of look to them. Like I say, futuristic, but also sort of minimalist design as well. And you get the sort of stone flax laces in this, and I think that pretty much goes perfectly with this. I don't really think you can sort of mess around too much with the lace options. So with the final thoughts, I like the knit upper in this. I think it's quite cool, even though it feels sort of rough to the touch. When your foot's inside it, it feels nice and sort of stretchy as well, and quite sort of robust as well. And I also like the unique design. I know it's not for everyone, but for me, I like it, and that's the reason why I bought it. And I think, you know, it's a cool looking sneaker. In terms of the cons, I think the comfort for a lot of people, if you're looking for soft, this is not the one to go with. Like I say, it's more sort of on the firm side, and, you know, it sort of has a little bit of cushiony feel to it, but I wouldn't say it's anything like a, you know, 990 V6 or a 1906R, or even any sort of boost. Really, there's no boost or nothing like that in there, so it's just quite sort of basic trainer. And obviously, I know that going into this is a divisive look. A lot of people may not agree with this, and I think it's one of those sneakers, maybe in time, you know, next sort of 10 years, that people may sort of grow to sort of like it. But at the moment, I think it's pretty much a sort of split type situation, where some people like it and some people don't. So with the ratings, I give the look and style a 4 out of 5 with this one. I think it's a cool sneaker, and I don't think it's the best work that Steve Smith's done, or what Yeezy have done. But at the end of the day, it's still a nice sneaker, in my opinion. And the comfort, I'm going to give that a 4. The reason being is, even though it's on the firm side, it just feels quite sort of basic and sort of neutral on foot, and that's what I like, and I like that sort of low to ground feeling. And the quality, I'll give that a 4 as well. I think there's nothing too much wrong with this, the look of the sneaker and the way it sort of fit together. There's a few sort of glue stains here and there, but other than that, I think, you know, it's a 4 out of 5. I think the only thing is just a lack of tech in there. And the pricing at £175 is probably a bit too high, in my opinion. Obviously, this was at the time where Yeezy was sort of in its prime, and, you know, getting away with sort of charging a lot of money on trainers. But I think if this was to release now, it should be at a sort of cheaper price, because there's much tech in there, and it's more design over function, I guess. But overall, I still think it's a really cool sneaker. It's not one of the greatest of Yeezy silhouettes, but I think in time people will probably appreciate it a bit more, and that's the reason I've given it a 4 out of 5. I actually like the sock-like comfort, and I actually think the way that it looks is very much on brand with Yeezy and the aesthetics and style of Yeezy.